Hi guys, it's YSO256, back with another What If video. And today we're returning back to what if Harry and Hermione fell in love. If you recall from the last episode, we dealt with Ron being in Slytherin House, and then Harry went with Hermione to try and figure out what the next clue would be for the second task. He then realised that he would need to breathe underwater, and he discovered the bubblehead charm. He then mastered this with Hermione, and we left off with her and Ginny leaving the common room with Fred and George to go see Professor McGonagall. And if you recall, Hermione wasn't particularly fond of the look that Ginny was giving Harry. So, let's continue with the sixth part of this series. So we begin things with, on the day of the second task, Harry was woken up and he's wondering where the hell Hermione and Ginny have got to. But he's going through his daytime lessons and then he has his lunch in the Grand Hall. He then leaves with the other champions outside to the lake and he lines up with the other champions. He's then told to begin, and he then performs the bubblehead charm on himself, walking into the lake. He then eventually finds the statue of the Ner people, where tied to it are Hermione, Ginny, and a couple of other people. He then gets a stone and goes to Hermione to free her, and then also tries to free the others, but he's pulled back by the Ner people. "You free your own hostage," said one of the Ner people. "Take yours and leave the others." "I don't want to leave the others," said Harry, but all came out of his mouth were bubbles. He then simply held up his wand. The Ner people, they were 90 in number, but they knew no magic. Harry then said, "You've got to the count of 3. He held up 3 fingers to make sure they got the message. 1, he held on a finger. 2, he held on the second. He was about to say 3, but all of a sudden the people disappeared. He then saw Fleur and Crumb take their hostages, and Harry then chopped away at Hermione and Ginny's bindings. He then grabbed the pair and swam back to the shore. Hermione then woke up. "Well, Harry, that was impressive. What took you so long finding us, though?" asked Ginny. I wanted to save all of you. I couldn't let any of you just stay under there forever," Harry said. Hermione then rolled her eyes at Harry and sighed. "Harry, did you actually think Dumbledore would leave us to die underwater?" But the song, it was there to make you realise that you had to work quickly, dear." Harry then sighed. "I was such an idiot," he said. But then he realised that he was now on top form for points, going into the final task. He and the others then got dried and went back to Gryffindor House. Hermione then explained to Harry what had happened when she had left the common room with Ginny that last night. "Well, after Ginny gave you that look, Hermione did... Me and Ginny are just friends," Harry quickly spat out. Hermione then laughed. "What's so funny, Hermione?" "Harry, do you think I actually care about Ginny? She's not a threat to me." "Oh, good. I don't want you two getting off bad terms with each other. I want us to stay friends, you know. With Ron gone, you know, she's kind of one of the few friends we've got left." I know, dear. Anyway, as we left, we all went to McGonagall's office, and Dumbledore told us that we'd be put in asleep when we're underwater, and then when you got us out there again, we'd wake up. "What?" said Harry. "That easy?" "Yeah." Harry then laughed and said, "Well, 2 down, 1 to go, I guess. Although who is trying to kill me, though? That's the question," he wondered. to himself as he was playing a game of Wizard's Chess with Ginny. And he got his butt kicked as always, but he didn't mind. He then had a game with Hermione, and surprisingly, for once, he actually beat her. Harry then got really confident and thought, maybe I can win against Ginny again. But then he lost. Well, clearly my luck's run out, he said. And they laughed, enjoying the rest of their afternoon. The following week, in their Transfiguration class, they had to then go through more boring stuff to prepare for their OWLs. Harry then spent time in his downtime with Hermione and the rest of the Weasleys. Although one day, after a particular break, and when they got to a potions class, let's say things didn't go well, as they had to deal with the Slytherins yet again. And who was there with them? Ron and his new girlfriend Pansy. Well, if it isn't Potter and his little mudblood girlfriend, said Ron. Draco and the rest of the Slytherins laughed at that. Don't call her a mudblood, you scum, said Harry, pointing his wand at Ron. Go on, I dare you to. Do what you've got to do, Potter, if you've got the guts to do it without Dumbledore watching your neck. Harry then pointed his wand at Ron and said, Expelliarmus! He then disarmed Ron, but Ron simply grabbed his wand back. Impressive, Potter, but come on, do something better. Harry then did the curse that caused Ron's face to boil up. But as he did so, Draco then used his wand and said, the curse that causes someone's teeth to grow. And their spells launched off each in different directions. Harry's got Pansy, and Ron's got Hermione. Pansy's face grew into boils, and she cried out, Ron, don't look at me! I'm ugly! And Harry was shocked when he saw Hermione's face. Her teeth started growing and growing and growing. The Slytherins and Gryffindors then had a falling out, before they heard the drawling voice of the potions professor. Well, what's all this? They then all tried explaining, but then Snape paused them and pointed a yellow fingernail at Draco. Explain, he said. Potter attacked Weasley, sir. We attacked each other at the same time, said Harry. And look what he did to Pansy, said Ron. Snape looked at Pansy and gave a small sigh of sympathy. He'd actually gotten to like the Weasley boy over the last few months, and he was a nice addition to his new group of Slytherins. Hospital wing, Pansy, he said with a small sigh of sympathy towards her. Pansy then walked to the hospital wing. Look at Hermione! Scowled Harry at Snape. Snape looked at her and then scowled at Potter. He'd never liked these two, especially since they've gotten together. Snape then said in a droll voice, I see no difference. Hermione then burst into tears and ran away down the corridor. But luckily she got away with this, as Harry was crying insults at Snape. He didn't understand what they were, but he got the gist of them. Right, let's see now. 50 points from Gryffindor, and the detention for you, Potter, as well. Now get inside before I make it a week's worth of detentions, boy. Harry then stormed into the Slytherin dungeon for his potions class and sat at the back of the room. He then sighed as he had to endure another potions lesson without Hermione, and he knew what this one was about. Snape had tasked him with creating antidotes in their previous class, and he was going to test one on them, and he knew that Harry was going to get cursed. Well, here we go, another lesson without my girlfriend, he sighed to himself. Could this day possibly get any worse? And that's where we're going to be ending things for the 6th part of this What If, guys. So, what did you think? Do you think Hermione will be okay? And Is Harry truly going to be cursed by Snape with a poison? Or will he be able to get through this class just fine? Find out next time, when we return back to the exciting love affair of Harry and Hermione falling in love.